I'm only taking one step at a time towards healing myself. I had to get out, I found a way out. No more living in pain or misery. It's all about protecting my energy. Keep the negative away from me, because I am just keeping my peace. Cut off everything that no longer was serving me, and I chose to start loving myself. I walk in my purpose, no looking back, I'm only going within. B.O. standing there, a better version of me. I must say that I'm proud of me. It's not about how you feel, I'm living proof that God is real. So let me show you how to heal. Damn it, I'm wearing it well, cause I came a long way. My journey isn't yet complete, that's what it look like to heal. Damn it, I'm wearing it well, I'm proud of myself. It's nothing to it, you can do it, all you gotta do is just fight through it. Creative soul, creative soul, creative soul. Just fight through it. Creative soul, creative soul, creative soul, creative soul, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to Pain to Purpose podcast, where we have open discussions to heal together as a community. Today, we are on episode 24, and we're on our marriage series. Our special guest today is Doc. Welcome, Doc.
Hey,
How
how
are
you
you?
doing? Great
I'm
like Tony the Tiger.
good. I'm doing good too. Thanks for asking. I'm glad to have you on for our marriage series. I know that you do counsel at your church, couples, and so I wanted to bring you on to give us some information on marriage.
Okay, okay.
So, can you
All right.
background of how long you've been doing this?
I have been in the ministry for since 2004.
Oh,
I've been ministering couples and trying to keep families and relationships together for, I guess, 8, 10 years. Yeah,
okay, that's a long time.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So what is some of the things that you tell couples when they come to see you?
Um, I take them down the road of the worst possibilities first of all,
The
because when
worst?
you're, huh?
The worst?
Yes,
Oh Lord. Okay.
yes. We have to go down the worst roads in a manner of ifs, so that if that thing should arise, you will have a better perspective on how to handle it.
Okay.
So some cases, cheating is a end all be all. Some cases it's not. If you get cheated on, either way, man or woman, um, doesn't make you a cheater. There's a difference. So if that's one of the conversations I asked. So if she or he were to cheat, would you would that be the end of the relationship? Um, and then you have to go into the perspective of what is cheating and how is it defined by each person, because some people say just conversating is not cheating. Some people believe that conversating is cheating. Other people believe that you have to be in the physical act of either being intimate with someone else in order for it to be cheating.
Okay,
So
now, but Doc, isn't cheating it because it starts in the mind? So if
yes,
you're thinking it, isn't that a form of cheating?
to some people it is, to it's not. So you have to understand that when you're talking to two different people, they come from two different backgrounds, from two different areas, two different family dynamics, and they all have different belief systems. So you have to work with them from both sides of it, and then try to give clarity to where you can understand that, um, uh, you know, what causes, because some people don't believe that they do anything to cause another person to cheat. They say I didn't do anything. Could that be the problem? Could you have not been more responsive to the person that you're supposed to be in a relationship with, or could it be that that they are lacking something that you are not willing to give? We have standards. I'm not doing that. And those things should be um, talked about up front. Your do nots and stuff like that, so that you both can go into a thing with wide open eyes. And that's where we get the googly eyes, and we forget all about the reality of life. There are times that people are, I love her. I love her. Why do you love her? I just love her. That's not an answer. What does she do to make you say that you love her? Likewise, um, women will say, "Well, he's my breath of my, this, that, another." You ask them, why do they love him? I just love him. It's not just that simple. You have to know what it is about that person that you can't find in any other person, and you have
Absolutely.
to be able to build on that. That's a solid foundation. Um, you always have to understand, and that's, I just use cheating for a just a starting point. But you have financial mismanagement. You have spiritual differences, all of these things. So that's why I say I take it to the worst. You could be dating someone and not know that they're atheists. uh, you could be dating someone and not know that they don't want children. You want 10, they want none. How are y'all going to stay together?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So in those things, I make sure and get those things out of the way early to understand if they both on the same page. Yes, I think in the future I want children. I want to, try. Somebody might say I want to be financially secure in the next 5 years before we get to marriage and all this stuff. Some people are just getting married just for the idea of doing a wedding, just to outdo somebody else that had a wedding. They're not having a wedding to be married to each other. They're getting married to impress somebody else.
I think sometimes,
So,
um, I mean, weddings are nice. They're beautiful. When I got married, I had a big wedding and everything. But I
mhm,
think sometimes we get caught up in the glamour,
mhm.
and the marriage is not always going to be peaches and cream.
Right, right.
It's
It's not. It's ebb and flow. Every day is a different day. You have to take it one day at a time.
mhm,
Every day. Every day we get new grace and new mercies from God. Every day we got to give each other new grace and new mercies.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we a lot of times we do get caught up in, oh, let's they're picking out the colors and this glamorous dress with
Hmm.
the train. And don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, for our audience, I'm not telling anybody not to have a big wedding. I'm just saying for some people, you can get caught up in that and not
Hmm.
think about down the road. Because even
Right.
after that big wedding, you still have to live.
Right. And then you have to deal with that person that's on the other side of you. You have the person that you stand and look at on that day. After that day, after the music has stopped, after the flowers have been taken down, after the cake has been thrown and ate and all that, all the alcohol is gone, then the next day you have to deal with that person. And you're dealing with that person for the rest of your life, is what you obligated yourself to. And So many times couples get into relationships for the good times, for the richer, for the better. They don't want the poor, the sickness, and the worst. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And so I
So
have a question, Doc.
okay.
And so a lot of times you hear women and men, especially like on social media, they talk about a person has to have this six figure. And if they don't have this six figure because they have that six figure, they're not willing to date that person. Do
Hmm.
you agree with that? Because one person may have a degree and the other
Hmm.
one may not have a degree, but that
Hmm.
doesn't mean that they're not able to take care of their family because one person has the degree.
Right, right. There. So in that instance, we have these people running around here with a skewed idea of what love is. Love has nothing to do with material things or pieces of green paper. A long life. If you love that person, I see people that walk together pushing a shopping cart and sleeping under bridges that love each other more than some of these figure salary people.
Wow.
Money does not buy you love; it buys you a safe place to stay. Money can't buy that person. Money can buy you hair, but it can't make it grow. Money can buy you eyes, but it can't make you see. Money can buy you a heart, but it can't make it beat. You heard that in a song before. Money is not the uh, pretense for being in a relationship with somebody. And 9 times out of 10, if a person is already established, they already have $100,000 a year in their portfolio. They have $1 million in their bank account. They don't feel that they have to answer to you at all. You don't tell me. You just a temporary fling most of the time. And I heard this thing this morning. I was looking at YouTube this morning, and the lady said, "Well, man got to have six figures. He got to be 6 foot tall. He got to have more than 6 inches. All this." And he was like, "So when you started making six figures, why are you dating down to a man now that you have 6 figure salary job?" And every man that you dated, you're dating down to. But when a man makes six figures and he dates somebody below his 6 figure threshold, he's got to come up just because of your looks. Your looks doesn't make you a good person.
Mm-mm.
Your looks doesn't make you worthy of being in my space on a 24-hour a day basis. Love doesn't make you be my lifelong part. I mean, money doesn't make you my lifelong partner. Love does. And love is not just saying it, it's action. It's how you treat me, how you make me feel, uh, how you can read my vibes. You can tell when something is off. You're in tune with me, not my finances, not my status, not my cars, not my job title, none of that. Because at some point in that long life, if you get married in your 20s or your 30s, some point in that long life, if you live to be 100, you're going to fall into shortcomings. You're gonna have financial problems. You're gonna have all your health is gonna fail. Then that's when people want to cut and run because they weren't there for the right reasons. And so many times people have taken that and destroyed the right person for the wrong being with the wrong person. They
Mm.
destroy them, and they destroy their trust. They destroy their belief system. And I for one have just went through a divorce after 13 years of marriage, but I still believe in love. I still believe that we have a soulmate that is uniquely made for us.
Now, I know in the Bible, and I can't remember what scripture it is, I should have pulled that up, where it states reasons that you can get a divorce. Do you believe in
Okay.
that? Like, do you believe that cheating is one of the reasons you can get a divorce?
That's what the Bible says, adultery. Being, but it doesn't say accusing me of adultery. It says being caught in the act of adultery.
Correct.
How many people have left somebody because they saw a text in a phone and they blew up their whole family because you were texting this woman. That's not adultery. Adultery is the physical act. That's what the Bible talks about. But to somebody that there again, their feelings should not be invalid. If that's what they believe, then that should be understood on the front end. You know, conversation should be had. And what I've discovered is more times than not, women say that they are the best communicators, but they're not. They
Now,
have this intuition, but they don't. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, it's the truth. I promise. Uh, uh, they'll say, "I have intuition. I know he's cheating. How come you don't have the intuition to know that this man is unhappy in this relationship, and you should change the way you're doing things?" uh how can you be so wise and be so much smarter than him, but you never listen to him when he tell you, babe, I don't like the way you do that. I don't like the way you wear all this revealing stuff and go out into the community. I think you're too available for uh the people that are coming at you, or something like that. You making yourself too available for them. They go to that and they say it's a control thing, is this, is that. uh each person's feelings should be validated. And when your spouse comes to you and talks to you, or you're not necessarily your spouse, but your person comes to you and say, babe, I don't feel like this is right, and you blow them off or make them feel like their point is not valid, um, over and over and over again, it's going to become a problem, and you're
right.
going to drive a wedge between you and that person. And a man will absolutely stop talking. Like, I'm not going to keep having the same conversation every day, and he'll just move, and that pushes him um, to say maybe this is not the person. If it doesn't push him to cheat, it'll make him start thinking, second guessing what he's in. And then on top of that, women will say, girl, don't give him none, and he'll get right. I don't know. I've heard one boy that said he had to go home one night. We were hanging out because his wife said that she was gonna give him some that night. And I thought that that was the most insulting thing I could ever heard a grown man say. That he had to go home, leave his friends or whatever, because that night she was going to give him some. So that tells me that she rations it out to him at her will and pleasure.
Mhm.
And that does not do anything but open the door for more problems.
Okay. So the intimacy,
Mhm.
you feel like that's like the biggest problem.
No, they're all there. There's the disrespect thing. There's the you know, saying I got a smart mouth, and I know I got a smart mouth, and you're not gonna make me stop talking. Those things. It's a lot of things that, a man, and for men and women, is I have to dissect the problems per couple. It's not always the same, but I can go into each household that has a man and a wife in it, a man and a woman in it, at any given time, and hear the same argument in that house that's going on in the next house, because we have put out skewed philosophies of what relationships are and what love is and why we should be together. This is one of the most asinine things, I use that word for lack of another, uh, things that I've heard people tell people, young people that are dating. They'll say, "Well, y'all, I know y'all. I see y'all together more than 3 times. Y'all thinking about getting married?" They say, "No. Well, it's better to marry than to burn." That is the most asinine thing that you can tell a person in today's society, because what does that mean? If you ask the person that said it what that means, they'll say, "Well, y'all sleeping together and y'all not married." But how do we walk together? How are our financial mindsets? How are our ability to communicate? We get married just to sleep together, And then we got to deal with each other standing up for the rest of our life, or until one of us cut and run because we weren't compatible in the first place. We don't tell. Go ahead.
I, I'm sorry. Um,
It's all right.
I think sometimes some people get so caught up in how we're supposed to live as Christians, right?
Hmm.
And I don't want to take anything from anybody. I don't want anybody to think that I'm being disrespectful to their church or their minister or anything like that.
Hmm.
But on this platform, I make it open for us to be
Hmm.
authentic and to talk about our feelings.
Hmm.
So anything that we say here is our feelings and is not to disrespect anybody. And we should be able to agree to agree to
Right.
disagree. Period.
Right.
It's how I feel. But
I agree.
I really feel like we get so caught up in the way we were raised in the church
Hmm.
till we try to live right by the book, right?
Hmm.
But sometimes we don't always believe some of that. And the people that's teaching us that, they're not living it.
Right. Right.
And so that's
Yeah.
hard because here I am trying to walk this straight line. And you got me thinking that if I do this, the Lord gonna come down and strike me down.
Hmm.
I cannot make a mistake. And so we get frustrated. And then we just
Hmm.
kind of pull away and start doing our own thing.
Hmm.
When it's more to that. You want me to go ahead and get married because I made this mistake or I did this wrong, but you
Hmm.
never set me down to see how our finances was. You never
Hmm.
set me down to see if I was loving him, showing him love correctly,
Properly.
showing
Hmm.
me love properly. We were
Hmm.
treating each other right. You never
Hmm.
set me down to make sure that neither one of us is abusing each other.
Hmm.
That means
Hmm.
mentally, physically, emotionally, verbally, any type of abuse is wrong.
Absolutely.
And
Hmm.
we look over those things. It's more like, well, y'all slept together. You need to go ahead
Get
and make
married.
a
Yeah.
but
Get
without
married. Yeah.
the other stuff, we just gonna X out all the other stuff. I mean, he or she could be abusing the other one. He
Hmm.
or she could not be helping, with bills. He or she could not be showing love to the other and being disrespectful. But because
Hmm.
we slept together and because you saw us out somewhere past midnight and a couple times in a row, we should
Hmm.
just go ahead and say I do. I
Hmm.
agree with that. And I
No,
know a lot of people
absolutely not.
disagree with me, and that's totally fine. We can agree to disagree, but on this platform, we are
Yeah.
authentic and we are
Yes.
going to say our minds,
Right.
speak our minds, and not feel like we can't because this is about not being silenced anymore and us healing together as a community.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And those are some of the things that the church has fallen short on. But the church is the people. It's not a building.
No, it's we are the church.
Yes, and the people are in bad relationships, or they're in relationships because they had no other option at the time. Some people that have been married for 40 years got married to that person because that person was taking care of them, and they didn't have any other choice but to go with that person. And then they grew to have concerns or cares for them over the years, and then they go around. Uh, and I have to use. This person I know. I won't say who it is. They go around and they tout so often that they've been married for over 55 years. My husband and I have been married for 55 years. But you moved out of the bedroom with your husband, built a whole nother room on the opposite side of the house, and you stay on one side, he stays on the other, but y'all still in the same house and y'all still married. But
That's not
that y'all roommates. Y'all not married. And one of the things, because I heard that from a couple of people, I was like, if you can't stay in the room with me, you can't stay in the house with me. If we can't work this out to where we are on the same page. And well, he snores. Okay, well, he was snoring the first night you spent the night with him. Nothing changed. She was snoring the first night and pooting in her sleep. It was the first night you spent the night with her. So this is what you're gonna get. When a person goes to sleep, they don't have control over what their body does. If I knew how to stop myself from snoring, or something of that nature, I would have done it by now. If I get in a certain position or I'm really tired or really stressed, I will probably snore. But that's not a regular thing. But these are things that people don't consider. I heard so many women on TikTok and on YouTube say, I'm so tired of him leaving his socks all over the floor or kicking his shoes. I'm like, who are these people? Why am I kicking my socks off in the floor? I mean, I wash, I do my laundry, I clean my house, I do just like I was taught by my grandmother, both my grandmothers and one grandfather. You keep a clean house. What am I kicking my socks off in the floor for? It makes no sense.
Clean up.
Who are these? Huh?
Some people don't clean up.
Right, right. So if this person is doing that when you meet them, you go to their house and it's not. They tried to. This woman on TikTok tried one time. So if you come over to my house and and you come in and you see my garbage can full of trash, what are you going to do? I said, I'm gonna leave. Why? Why do you mean? You supposed to get the bag and take it out. No, if you that nasty to leave the trash in when you know you got me coming over for the first time, it's something wrong with you. You trying to test something that don't need to be tested. Chivalry is not dead over here. I know what my role is. My question is, do you know what your role is? So many times we have this womenology that of what a man is supposed to be, and have no idea of what a man really is. We think, well, he's supposed to take out the trash. Where is that written? Teamwork make the dream work is what I heard that said. I've heard happy spouse, happy house. I mean, we're in this together. I'm out there all day long cutting the grass. You in there doing whatever you're doing in the house. You throw all the stuff in the trash. If I'm dog tired and I come in and don't get the trash out, I'm the worst man in the world. How is that?
So
I don't allow my trash to get full. Go ahead, ask me a question.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I always say that I don't believe in the old school way. So I know like back in the day it was like, okay, the father worked and the mother worked too,
Mhm.
but in certain situations the mother worked too, but she also had to take care of the kids. She had to clean the house, she had to cook, and
And
he
Dad
just
was doing what?
work. He
Huh?
was he went to work, and some of them didn't do anything other than that. And
What?
so,
What? They wait. Hold up. Right there. They didn't do anything other than that.
okay, so let me break it down. We have some that just go to work and they don't
Uh
do
huh.
anything other than that. They bring the money and they think because they bring the paycheck home that that's all that needs to be done, right? But then
Uh
you
huh.
do have some that help take care of bills and they will cut the grass and take care of the outside of the house.
Hmm.
I strongly believe that it takes two, just like it takes two to take care of a home or
Hmm.
the bills or whatever. You should come together when it comes to other things because you
Okay.
don't, one person shouldn't get burnt out than the other, man or woman.
Right.
Everything shouldn't
I
be you and everything shouldn't be on me. So let's come
right.
together, be that team to make sure that everything gets done, but neither one of us is burnt out, is what I'm saying.
Right. I see where you're going. I see where you're going with that. So I see exactly where you're going with that. But here's what happens.
Okay.
Uh, they'll say he goes to work and he comes home and he does nothing. Right. There was a question asked by a friend of mine. I said, what they asked, they said, well, there are men that do, and then there are men that pay someone to do.
Okay.
So I'm that man that will do it. I maintain my property and my I mean I feel like if I'm able to do it, I'm going to do it. But there are some people that have no mechanical skills, and if you go out there and get on a lawnmower and chop his foot off, then how is that beneficial to the family?
I'm okay if you pay somebody else to do it.
Right.
You pay
So,
somebody
but
else to do
so
it.
hold on. So if he's paying to get it done, is it the same thing? If he pays
Okay.
somebody to get it done, or is if he does it, which one is better?
either way, it's getting done, and it's one less thing
So
off my list that
right.
I have
So
to worry.
if he's in there sitting on the couch, but there's somebody out there cutting the grass, is that okay?
I'm okay with that. Just
Some
listen.
people are not okay with that.
Okay, so let me just say, if you can't do it, but you can pay somebody to do it,
Uh huh.
that's one less thing off the list that I have to worry about. I'm okay with that,
Okay.
sir.
That,
Just help me
so
get it done.
yeah, yeah. So that's what happens a lot of times. People say, well, he doesn't do anything when he comes home. But his checkbook is always open and ready to go whenever the children need anything, whenever the bill, the window got to be put back in the house, whenever the grass has to be cut, whenever the car breaks down, he takes it to the service department. He can't do it. But I mean, so what happens is because women do things inside the house solely, and I appreciate the fact that some women get out and cut the grass as well, or help me cut the grass, or when if not cut the grass, help me rake when the grass cutting is done. That's a teamwork mentality.
And I'm
That's
okay
two
with that.
walking together. That's two walking together so they agree. And the question is asked in the Bible: how can two walk together except they agree? And these are the things that you test early on. I One of the things I ask on the regular: will you cut the grass for me? I ain't going out there. Okay, then. All right. You have a nice day. You know, because more times than not, it is our women that say that they're not going out there and do that stuff. But our grandmothers and great grandmothers went out and planted flowers. They chopped in the garden. They provided that while father was off picking cotton or working in the warehouses. Grandmother was at home in the garden outside pulling weeds, chopping the garden, planting the garden, doing all that stuff. Now, why is it so taboo for us and our queens to go outside and do the same thing that their grandmothers were doing? Why is
Okay, so
that?
I have a question.
Uh
I'm not an outside person. Can I pay somebody to do it?
huh.
Listen. I will help your honey take some of the load off.
Uh huh.
Can I pay somebody to do it? I'm not an outside person. I'm
But
just
why is it that you're not an outside person?
no. It's one thing off your list though. I'm just saying.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Hey, if that works for you and your honey, it's cool with me. Just know that I want somebody gonna come out there with me. I want you. I want you to, because you then appreciate. See, one of the things is with my ex, she would say it just doesn't make any sense for my man to have a detail service and my car be dirty.
Well,
I would sit there and look at her, and I
or
would wait
is
and
it
see.
the way that she says it? Because
No, it's
I
the
know
point that you say that, but this is a job. Me doing this detail thing is a job. This is my job that I do every day. And when I come and clean your car and you leave and go to your mother's house and drive in the mud, why the hell am I cleaning that car again?
okay,
Why would I? You,
you got a point. You got a point. You got a
you see
point.
what I'm saying? So what you telling me is you think I'm just supposed to do it just because, and you're not appreciative of me doing it. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
I get it.
So we not so what you don't realize is if you come out there with me and wash that car one day and you see how much work and effort I put into cleaning it, then you have a whole different perspective on why I don't want to do it on a regular basis. And I get paid to do this. I do it for paid to provide for the family. But you want me to do it just because I got a detail service, but you have no respect for it to even try to avoid the mud or try to keep it clean. You get in the car and go out of the house, and the children throw food everywhere right after I just cleaned the car. How is that beneficial?
So it's kind of like privilege. You know,
Right.
expect
Mm-hmm.
certain things, and it doesn't
Uh huh.
matter how you take
Right.
care of it because you know
Right.
honey is going to
Mm-hmm.
fix the problem. So
Mm-hmm.
I do get that. I
Mm-hmm.
understand where you're coming from. And I want to
Yeah.
say thank you because I know that I've talked to you a few times about situations and dating and everything. Now, I didn't have the best model growing up
Right.
to see how a marriage should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just didn't. So
Right.
I went off what I thought. That doesn't mean that it was okay by the way that I acted, because I
Right.
could have reached out. Well, at some
Mm.
point I did reach out, but you can't make the other party go to counseling if they don't want to go to counseling. But
Right.
we have to acknowledge when we do things wrong and take accountability. So I will raise my hand, both of my hands, and say, I did not do it all right the first time,
Right. Right.
but I want to be right the second time.
That's what
So
I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
this right here was important for me to do, because I don't just do these theories for the audience. I don't just do it for our community. I do it because I learn too, as well, right? We
Hmm.
all have flaws, and we all have to admit where we've come short, and we
Exactly.
get back up and fix it the next time. But I want to
Hmm.
say thank you, because to you, because I know, like, with the things that I've been through, growing up, and then outside the home, dating, and the way that I've been spoken to by men, and I
Hmm.
got to a point where it was like, I'm not taking that. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way, and I'm gonna say
Hmm.
what I want to say, and I could pop off at the mouth because of what I've been through. But we do
Hmm.
have to understand that every man is not like that, and I have
Hmm.
to remind myself that. I honestly do. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I will go back to, like, this
Hmm.
person did that. You ain't finna do this to me. But
That's right.
everybody is not the same. And so
Everybody's not the same.
by me talking to you at times, I can actually say, I can say
Yes.
such and such, such and such, or have a conversation where the person feels respected, and I'm not just like throwing jabs or digs at
Hmm. Hmm.
something. I know it's every day is a new day to get it right, to work on it and to get it
Yes.
right. It doesn't
Hmm.
happen overnight. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The two things that I tell them more so, never be too big to apologize, and never be too big to admit you were wrong, or that you have a flaw somewhere. We do that so many times. I just I learned from the hard way. I had to deal with it every day, and I saw it from a lot of people. And if I give you advice, it's going to be the truth. It's not going to be my own selfish perspective or based off my emotions or how I felt when it happened to me. I'm going to tell you the right way to do it. If not, I'm not going. I'm going to say, let me check and see what I can find out about that. I don't have all the answers, but I do have. Knowledge on how it is and what we need to do to be better together, because I love seeing people in love and together, in the right way. Sometimes man or woman has a bad way of communicating, and we communicate like children sometimes based off how we were raised, and that doesn't work. You know, we have to move forward in this life, uh, and respect each other to a certain to the utmost. I'll say not just a certain point, to the utmost, and also know that we have issues and problems as well.
Yeah.
So
And I
yeah.
definitely want to tell the audience, like, in my opinion, if you've never been married before, stop trying to give people advice
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
that want to get married, or like you don't even want to get married, but you're giving
Yes.
people advice.
Yes. And never been married.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just like, if you've never had a child, what
Hmm.
advice can you give to a mother?
Hmm.
You have no
Well, I
experience
I
in it.
think you shouldn't do this. I think you keep your thoughts to yourself. And that go ahead.
I get it. Like, that's just like somebody trying to give me advice on single parenting. You don't know what it's like to take care of a child by yourself and pay every bill in the house by yourself,
Hmm.
and to have to wash clothes, fold the clothes, make sure the house is taken care of, make sure the kid have all the clothes they need, and everything else that goes on with being a single mother. So you
Hmm.
cannot give me single mother advice. And it's the
Right.
same thing for marriage. And I really wish people would get that and understand that.
Hmm.
That right there
Exactly.
causes a problem and a division in our
Yes.
community.
It does. It does. And one of the things I asked, with what you're saying right now, I asked each person if they come to me for advice. I asked them. I said, "Do you think you did anything to cause this issue or this situation that you're dealing with right now?" And I've experienced it once and only once where somebody said, no, I did absolutely nothing. And that's scary. When you think that you're always right or you do nothing wrong, you are a dangerous person to be with, because we all are fallible. We all make mistakes. We all go into a thing in the wrong manner or in the wrong attitude and cause someone else to do something different. If you don't ever think you do anything wrong, you don't need to be here. You need to be already up there with Jesus, sitting on the right side.
Right, right.
You know.
We all fall short
Yes. Yes.
a lot of
So
things.
yes. So those are just some of the things I talk to people about early on. And try to fix it if they can. But um, at the end, I still hold men more accountable for certain things. Uh, like, don't stoop to the level of, if you and your spouse get into it and you go blast it all over the internet. She did this, she did that. Supposing when you calm down from being angry, that lady come back and say, I was wrong, please forgive me, can we make this work? Now you got to go back, eat crow, because you went on Facebook and blasted her, low rated her, did all these things on Facebook. And then the next day, y'all sitting up there boo-hoo and booed up and kiki and ha ha. You don't put people in your business that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you again for coming on to the podcast. We really do appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna have to have you come back on some other topics.
All right, I got you. I
But
got
thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. And to our audience, keep loving on your spouses. Acknowledge your flaws and try to fix them, the best way you can. Never turn down counseling. Counseling really helps. Even if it's with a spiritual counselor or going through your insurance, just don't sit there alone and try to fix it. It takes two in a marriage, not just one. Remember that
Absolutely.
it's only pain until you discover your purpose and start your healing journey. I'll see you next time.